Yeah, the one in the back. Oh, please tell me on the bottom. So the big guy gets sea salt. You gotta find out what okay, I'll keep looking. I don't feel them. Thank you so much. Yeah.
President. You're in office.
Good morning. It is a good problem to have, amen? English class is never so far. Wow. Good morning. Good to see you this morning. As we begin, I'm going to take a few moments and go over some of our announcements, get those out of the way. There's some we need to emphasize. I'm going to go down through in case you're not aware of something happening. We did have a message on Facebook that they wanted to know, when are you beginning worship over at the new site? They've seen the pictures of the renovation, and we don't have a particular date yet, but it's moving right along. Tonight at 5, choir adventure. And tonight at 6, our worship session. Tuesday, again, our choir practice. Wednesday at 9, whip. Is that correct, Bessie? Can't forget you, ladies. Whip this Wednesday. Wednesday at 6, new life discussions. And that's new life discussions. That means if you have questions from the Word of God, from your studies, any biblical questions, we just kind of throw it over for discussion. We'll be meeting next door for that. Thursday is a study in Acts at 6 o'clock. And then Saturday at 10 a.m., we'll have another choir adventure. Because we're getting close to something, right? And then Saturday after choir, whatever the time happens to be, we'll have a leadership meeting. Then next Sunday at 7 a.m., we're having a sunrise service here. Sunrise is actually around 6:43 a.m., something like that. We're going to be at 7. And then after the sunrise service will be a sausage. Yeah, sausage, that's right, it's sausage. It'll be a sausage, biscuits, and gravy breakfast. And we really need you to sign up for that in the back before you leave today. We're going to be attending that. Then during our main worship next Sunday at 10 a.m., we will begin the service with our choir adventure. It will be the Lamb of God presentation that we've been singing, and our Easter presentation that will begin at 10 a.m. next Sunday morning. We will have Sunday school class as usual, Sunday school as usual next Sunday. Then 10 a.m. we're going to that. We'll open with the choir presentation, then we'll go into our communion. Then following our communion, if there are any Sunday school presentations, like maybe from our kids, or if Nancy has a Sunday school presentation, that'll be following our communion time before we depart. That'll be the message, by the way. The choir adventure will be the message. All right? Let's see anybody fall asleep on that one. All right. April 29th at noon is a reconnect session. It's a luncheon at the Wintersville Church of Christ. And if you're interested in going to that, you can sign that today, so I can call in the number for that. And then also on the 29th at 6 p.m., this I want to give special attention to this, it's the spaghetti dinner fundraiser. I mean, do we still have tickets left, Jamie?
Yes, we still
Okay,
are.
there's still some tickets left. It's really important that we know if you're coming for this and that you see Jamie following service today. Is there going to be a cutoff date on that? There needs to be a cutoff date eventually.
The Sunday before, was that
Probably the
22nd?
Sunday before,
So we
so
know
that'll
how
be the
many.
23rd. So 2 weeks from today, we can cut off for that. The cost is $10 for adults, $5 for children, and any children 4 to 12 are $5. And but anyway, we need to know how many are coming, so we know how much to prepare. We need for your plate to be empty. So Daughter's Luncheon, May 13th. There's a sign up for that as well. We'll be signing up for that, so Denise and those prepared can have it to prepare. And please note the change in the chicken barbecue, the dates for PBS. Appreciate those that have worked with us on that. I had a scheduling conflict, and I thank all those that helped work on that. The chicken barbecue this year will be August 12th, that's Saturday. Then PBS will run Sunday through Thursday, the 13th to the 17th. And it will lead us right into homecoming, the 20th to 23rd. So it's kind of serves as a springboard for that. For those here announcements, those are the happenings. Now, what's next? All I know is to say some people wake up in the morning and say, oh, Lord, it's morning. Or they wake up and say, good morning, Lord. So we got a great day ahead of us. Amen? Let's go to our feet. The old BBS song, 2016. It's a great day. Start off with a big smile. Big smile, happy to be, feeling God's love shining down on me. Deeper than ocean to sea, higher than the sky is your love for me. Breathing, so sound, now shall praise the amazing one. It's a good day, look around to see. Look what God's done for you and me. It's a good day, come and shout and sing. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh, it's a good day. Rejoice, today's the day. The Lord has made it in amazing ways. Watching what you're gonna do. It's from the ways that you faith on through. Breathing, circle sound. I'll shout, visit the amazing one. It's a good day, look around and see. Look what God's done for you and me. It's a good day, come down and sing. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh, it's a good day, look around and see. Look what God's done for you and me. It's a good day, come down and sing. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh, it's a good day. Anybody know what the day is today? Oh, it's a good day. April what? Oh, it's a good day. Somebody was married on April 9th. Good day. 51 years today. You see your lead street. Make sure you tell Alan and Carol Fleming happy 51 years of marriage, all right? Congratulations, Alan and Carol, 51 years of marriage. We'll start next song on the field. We'll get the song started up again, and I'll work with that. It's very coming back. Rejoice for that. Jesus, the Lord lives inside me. Once I was blind, now I can see. You give me strength, faith to believe. Who could love me like you do? Only you could love me this way. Only you deserve all the praise. Only you could love me this way. Only you. There is only only one like you. Only you. Light up the world right now. You bring me home every day. You know my heart, you give me praise. You can love me like you do. Only you could love me this way. Only you deserve all the praise. Only you could love me this way. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. Only you. Could love me this way. Only you. Deserve all the praise. Only you. Could love me this way. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. Amen. Like I said, those are a couple songs from DBS from 2016. That song is a kind of a message of an old gospel hymn. It says, "There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one." Aren't you glad we go to him in our prayer time today? I'm glad that he's always there. That's one of the ways we sharpen one another, not just with our fellowship with each other, but in prayer for each other. And we do have some praises this week for which we're grateful. I saw Patrick yesterday. He's doing well. You see him, he says, give him a hug, despite the 4 broken ribs that he has sustained during that injury. He was hoping to be here today. I don't see him. Is he here? Let him know that we're praying for him. This involves with the other gentleman that was involved in that car crash this past Tuesday, I believe it was. So no, last Monday. It was this past Monday. And then also praise for Irene Kelly. Her test came back well. Also praise for a gentleman by the name of Richard. Jim just answered right. Heart and lungs. Did I get that right? Thank you.
He needed heart and lungs. The lungs were available, so they did that, and it was successful.
Okay.
He still needs a heart transplant.
Still needs a heart. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were doing 2 in 1, kind of like 2 in 1 special.
Yeah.
Apparently not. But let's keep him in prayer. Also, Lenny Walker, now at the Gables Care Center. Lenny's father. Jackie's Thatcher. There's a hearing on the 20th, so that's coming up pretty soon. That'll be for David's custody decision. And then Glenn Christie's great-grandson, give me his first name in the phone. Is it Paul? It's not Oliver. Does anybody remember his last name's White? It may have been Bentley. Anyways, great-grandson, one of Lindsay's boys, going to have 2 put in
I think it's Parker, isn't it?
We'll give it a call. I didn't write it down, by the way. It was a good one. I know it's in there. It's in the filing cabinet, but things went real well arranged there. Are there any other prayer requests this morning that we've overlooked or we've missed? Sally said she's had a great week. All 3, she said. How about you, Dan?
Kenny Klein and his grandson was in a bike wreck last night, tricycle.
I didn't hear the first name.
Kenny Klein's
Kenny.
grandson,
Okay.
his name is Owen.
Owen.
He was riding the bike at the park and he wrecked and broke his back in 2 places. He's about 11 or 12 years old.
Fine. Hospital anywhere?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Children's maybe?
Yes.
Owen Klein. Owen Klein, not to be confused with Owen Dennison, standing there looking for Lily. She's right there in the front row. It's okay, she doesn't come there. Little thing going on between Owen and Lily. We're trying to arrange. Owen Klein. Any others?
Margaret Franklin was smart.
I'm sorry?
Margaret Franklin.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. On the 10th. The 51 years over here. How many years over here? Since 49. How many years? 61? 69, I mean? Yeah. Yeah, Patty just went like this. I'm sorry I don't keep up there with this. My mom always got on me. I remember sending thank you notes, remember everybody's birthday, and I'm still okay, remember all my grandkids' birthdays. So, okay, the rest of you kids too. Anybody else? Yeah. All right. What a friend we have in Jesus. Let's sing 2 verses. I'm standing on the 2nd verse for prayer for the mind. I'm just glad to see it now. What a friend we have in Jesus. All my sins increase to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what gives me up to faith. Oh, my needless pain to bear. Oh, the God who I pray. And trials and temptations, if there are anywhere, we should every assurance take into the morning prayer. Can we find the rest of faithful? Always so to share. Jesus knows I am. Yes. Gotta go. Let's come together as we pray now. Good to see you, Patrick.
Thank you. Good to see everyone as well.
And Wendy, too.
Our Father and our God, we thank you for answering prayer. We thank you for prayer itself, Father. The opportunity to connect with you, that you can give us strength, Father, and be our strength. These ones that's mentioned here on this prayer list, we know you care about them. We ask that you be with them. Father, we're on a spiritual journey in life. The real us, our soul, is locked in from birth. And it's going to go somewhere when we pass away. We just ask you, Father, to be with us. Help us to see the way you tried to get our attention when you took human form in the form of Jesus. We thank you for loving us. We thank you for being with us in so many ways that those in here don't want to mention. We just appreciate you, Father, so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Patrick, do you have anything you want to say? From right there.
What's that?
Oh, from right there. You can come up from right there.
I appreciate everyone's prayers and thoughtfulness. It's just a humbling experience. Probably shouldn't be here today. But it's a second chance. And I thank everybody for that.
Amen. We love you, man.
So, when Dean showed up, so it's kind of a long story, but in a nutshell, I'm here and thankful and thankful for your prayers and the thoughtfulness and it's you just don't know. But I thank the good Lord of all of you, so I'm here today.
Let go. I was thinking back to the day, it was after service. Almost everybody's gone. You said you were ready, and he came back in here and you were baptized in Christ. You did not wait. And I thought, how many have been in a position like that, or wreck or something, maybe did not make it through the wreck and they weren't ready. I knew you were ready. I'm just glad you're still with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
This time when, by the way, I never see anybody come up on stage and steal a few chairs off stage. You're in the song. And I thought, it would be cool if we had a couple more guys come up, just about 3 or 4 guys and pick up the piano and violate everybody. Yeah, no, I think it's good. That would be the sight to behold. I can get my camera out for that one. Bogey, you can follow up with that with our communion time as we go into communion. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to read from 2 Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 9. For indeed he was crucified because of weakness, yet he lived because of the power of God. For we also are weak in him, that we will live with him because of the power of God directed toward you. Test yourselves to see if you are in the faith, examine yourselves. Do you not recognize this is about yourselves that Jesus Christ is in you? Unless indeed you failed the test. But I trust you will realize that we ourselves do not fail the test. Now we pray to God that you do no wrong, not that we ourselves may appear approved, but that you may do what is right, even though we may appear unproved. For we can do nothing against the truth, but only the truth, for the truth. For we rejoice when we ourselves are weak, but you are strong. This way also we pray that you be made complete. Amen. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. Sorry about the mess. It's okay. Jesus has a specialization in cleaning up those messes in our lives. Thank you for reminding us of it. Let's go ahead, Just as I am without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me, and that thou didst become to me, the Lamb of God, I just as waiting now to rid my soul of wonder far, to be whose blood can cleanse inside the Lamb of God I come. Just as I am, thou will receive, will welcome, Lord, and free me. Because thy promise I believe, O Lamb of God. Lord, I want to thank you now for bringing us to this table again, blessing all of us to make it through this last week, to be here before you, to pray for your blessings, pray for your blood of your Son that washes us and cleanses us for the next week to come, to feel this closeness to you at this moment, Lord, all we can ask for. And I pray that you bless these men at this table, to bless them for doing the service for you today. Dear Heavenly Father, we continue your prayer here as we
We thank you for these men that come forward to serve your meal here. We thank you for your son, whose body this represents. We pray for your blessing upon this juice here that represents his blood that was shed for each and every one of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Let's pray. Lord, as we gather here in your house, worship your awesome grace. Bless all those you can give, bless all those you can't give. Lord, I ask you for healing, not only on the inside these doors, but on the outside too. There's a lot of people who need to heal now. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Standing there. Good, that's all. Praise God from all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. You wish to be seated, you may. We're going to sing one more song. So we visiting Children's Church, 2016. I'm an all year. May the stars fall by day, our purposes go every day. You're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. You're the ocean, rivers and seas. Your love is endless, flowing in me. You're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. Oh God of wonder, I'm in awe of you. Maker of heaven, I'm in awe of you. For your everything, I'm in awe of you. You calm the storms, take it away. Fill me with peace each time I pray. You're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. You got my feet, I follow you. There with me, faithful and true. You're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. Oh God of wonders, I'm in awe of you. Maker of heaven, I'm in awe of you. Lord of everything, I'm in awe of you. Lord of everything, I'm in awe of you. Amen? Amen. Wanted to go ahead and set the music for the conclusion of the message, although that CD player is kind of like that fellow in Acts chapter 20 that fell asleep on the Apostle Paul. That CD player won't make it through the whole message. It's going to power off. It's one of those, what do you call it, energy saving, right? Energy saving DVD player. It's a DVD player, or actually CD player. I'm thinking energy saving, are you kidding? Oh, it's sitting there with a light on it. You know, how much energy can that use? But it'll shut off after a little bit, probably before I do. So, anyway, good to see you this morning. How are you doing? Glad to be in the house of the Lord today with the Lord's people. Lord's Day. No better place to be during this time. At least sometime during the day. Sometimes folks have to work. We understand that. The boss says, hey, you got to come in, you got to do that. I used to work in a steel mill back in the 1980s. I understand that. And we always find time sometime during the day to set a time for the Lord and put Him first. And even when I couldn't be in the assembly of the Lord, I always had the communion there, my Bible at home, and had my own devotional time. And the only time I came close to missing that, I think, was when I had the appendix surgery. And I almost missed that. But anyway, I may be grateful for God's timing. God's timing. I think sometimes we're asleep to it. We're totally unaware of His timing. And the events of this past week just brought to my mind of God's impeccable timing. I want to use that word impeccable. Can you say that word this morning? Impeccable. It's not a word we hear very often, but it's a word that can be used to describe someone's behavior or their performance. It can be used to even appear to talk about their appearance. We can say, my, their appearance is impeccable. What we mean by that is that it is in accord with the highest of standards, and that it is right in accord with accepted standards of behavior. You might say, for instance, someone's behavior is impeccable, is faultless, it's flawless, unblemished, spotless. It's immaculate. Never thought I used the word immaculate there before, but if you ever go into someone's home and it's immaculate. My sister's home was always immaculate. She had white carpet. I mean, that is the definition of someone that's immaculate or really an optimist. You know what I'm saying? White carpet wouldn't last around our place for long, would it? It'd be tan. It'd be a tannish brown before long. Immaculate also, another word that's used there is the word pristine. I've heard that word before. Pristine. And often when I look up the definition of the word, I find that I've got to go look up the definition of the words that define the word. And so I look up that word pristine, and it simply means something that is restored to its original condition. And when you think about it, that's really God's goal for us as human beings. He wants to restore us to our original condition. And that's only possible in Jesus Christ. As the scripture says, if any man is in Christ, he's a new creature. Old things have passed away, new things have come. It also can be looked upon as something that is stainless, something that is perfect or exemplary. When I think of being pristine, being restored to my original condition, I realize it's only possible in Christ because of God's impeccable or perfect timing. And I'd like to talk about this morning because if you trust in God, someone said, you know what, trusting in God also involves trusting in His timing. Someone said years ago, God's never in a hurry, but He's always on time. I think that's a good point. And I thought, I've never seen God run. But then I thought, wait a minute, yes I have. I did see a time, one time at least in Scripture, when He was in a hurry. In Luke 15, when the prodigal son was coming home, the Bible says the father lifted up his eyes and saw his son at a distance. And the Bible says the father ran to his son. Now there's a time when the father was in a hurry. And the father is representing God that's looking for his wayward child to come home. That'll be another topic for another day. God's in a hurry. God's always in a hurry when it comes to you coming home to Him. Amen? God's always in a hurry for that. His timing, though, is perfect. The scripture I'd like to use for that this morning comes from the New Testament book of Galatians, chapter 4. You'll find this toward the latter part of your New Testament in the portion of letters to the different churches. This particular one, again, is the book of Galatians. I'm going to read a couple verses with you. If you have your Bible, I'd like to invite you to that. To look at God's perfect timing, Galatians 4, verses 4 through 7. His timing is perfect. His timing is impeccable. You can trust Him. You can trust Him. We can trust His timing. Galatians chapter 4. Let's use this as the foundation. We often hear this verse during Christmas season. It talks in Galatians 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time came. Now understand, fullness of the time came. God waited as long as He could, and then He acted and sent Jesus Christ. When the fullness of the time came, God sent forth His Son, born of a woman, born under the law, so that He might redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. Because you are sons, God has sent forth the Spirit of His Son into our hearts, crying what? Papa. That's a term like when we use in our English language, it's like daddy. It's like a little baby saying, Papa, daddy. It's a term of endearment in which the child has complete trust in their parents, and especially their father, and they come to them with open arms, and they come unhindered without any reservation. Abba, Father. And then Paul says, therefore you are no longer a slave, but a son, and if a son, then an heir. That's H-E-I-R, by the way, not E-R-R-O-R. We are, but God doesn't make mistakes, right? We're all created in His image. We become an heir, a full-fledged, in other words, a full-fledged member of God's family to become an heir through God. So fullness of time comes. All right, God's timing, His impeccable timing. I got to thinking about His timing. In His creation, how many days did God take to create the heavens and the earth? 6 days. What did He do on the seventh? Rested to teach us there should be 6 days of work and then a day of rest. To replenish, to recharge. In other words, this was mentioned earlier today in Sunday school. And so His timing is perfect in creation. As He puts all the heavenly bodies in their place on their revolutions and their rotations. And one of the perfect timings of God's creation that's always fascinated me is not just the rotation of the earth for one day, 24 hours, but also the moon rotates as well. And I think it takes about 2 weeks for the moon to rotate up there. It's like 2 weeks for each day. Boy, school would last forever if that's the case. But anyway, back to the topic. There's something they call synchronous rotation. You don't have to remember this. I won't test you on it later. But they say that as the earth revolves around the sun, and also while it rotates on its own axis, while it's revolving, the moon also follows us in orbit because the Earth's gravity holds the moon in its place. But the moon is also on that pattern around the solar system with us. And while the Earth is rotating 24 hours for one day, the moon is also rotating about 2 weeks per day. But there's a thing called synchronous rotation that it works in such a way that the same side of the moon is always facing the Earth. We have never, from the planet here, been able to see the other side of the moon, ever. Because there's a synchronous rotation in which the same side of the moon always faces the Earth. Is that perfect timing or what? Excuse me, I have to cough. Try that again. Is that better? Is that a heart attack? No, I'm trying to cover the mic. And so it wasn't until around 1959, I believe, when they sent up that whatever aircraft it was, a satellite, and went around the backside of the moon and took pictures. Oh, there's the backside. And so that was the first time they ever saw pictures of the backside of the moon, because the same side of the moon always faces us. Perfect time. They did find the cow up there too. Neil Armstrong said, I guess you tried it one too many times. Now, if you believe that, you won't believe anything else I say. But anyway, or you will believe everything else I say. That the first part was true, synchronous rotation. The thing about the cow on the moon, jumping over the moon, that's pretty bad. But there also is perfect timing in His preparation for the coming of Messiah. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, God didn't send Jesus immediately. It took about 4,000 years. And then even before He sent Him, in our account of the book of Matthew, there was 400 years of silence between Malachi and Matthew. Now maybe you know sometimes silence will get a person's attention. And the Jews had been waiting for 400 years. There was silence. God wasn't speaking anymore. There were those who were like, they were looking. And we were always taught as teachers in the schools that if you had a child that would begin to speak while you were speaking, if you would just, instead of holler and scream and raise your voice, if you would just stop talking and be silent. And oftentimes the child will notice that it's only them. And it works. It works in a classroom. It doesn't work so well during getting everybody's attention Sunday morning for worship. And it definitely doesn't work during choir practice. I'm John. Being silent just does not work. So, while you have Larry, Curly, and Mo, or whoever these dudes are up here, I thank Lana for this one. The boss. The boss, and I learned today, besides Bessie, that's what they said. They saw that, and they said, the boss is Bessie. I said, no, I said, besides Bessie, the boss is who? God. And He was silent for 400 years. And those who were paying attention, God got their attention. And when Jesus was born of the woman Mary under the law, He had their undivided attention. And those who didn't get all wrapped up in their preconceived ideas of who the Christ was supposed to be saw Him for who He truly was and accepted Him for who He truly was. And even those who were wrapped up in their own preconceived ideas, like even the soldier standing at the side of Jesus when He did die, the soldier's eyes were finally opened. Remember, and he said, truly, this was the Son of God. God's impeccable, perfect timing is such Then when Jesus came, he would come into a society that had been built by the Roman government that was perfect for his coming. There was a universal language. Like today, there's a universal language. America just doesn't know it yet. They have forgotten. The universal language of our world today is English. It's the universal language worldwide. In their day, the universal language was the Greek language. It was an exact and precise language that God could use to precisely communicate his message of love, and also there would be no mistake on how to come to Jesus. Even on the topic of baptism, it is so exact. Baptizo would be used, which means immerse. There are other words like rantizo for sprinkle. There was cheo for pour. But in American language, we say words like I love you, I love my wife, I love God, I love my dog, I love Chevrolets, apple pie, and we use the word love. And in the Koine Greek, it was precise and it was exact. There was an agape love. Say that, agape love, 1 Corinthians 13. That was a love for God, where God came first and you honored each other around you because you knew everybody's created in the image of God. There was a marriage love, eros, E-R-O-S, a love between a man and a wife. 69 years, 51 years. Someone's not husband and wife yet, but I heard they've just celebrated. How many years for Connie and Pat? I didn't hear how many years.
I didn't have it.
You didn't tell me. Someone said 54. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that, Pat. My wife did. I just repeated what she said. The woman, look how gay it's been. And I just heard someone that's not even married celebrate 8 months. Okay, cool. Right, where was it going with that? What was it talking about anyway? Oh, the preciseness of the Koine Greek language. Okay. The language, there was a transportation system, the roads that the Romans had built. It was a unique transportation system where you could get just about anywhere in all the known world at that time. So people could come from miles away, right? So the language, the transportation system, and on we could go. About God sending his son to a culture. By the way, isn't it interesting that he had the pagan Romans set up a culture in which Jesus could be introduced perfectly as light into a world of darkness? His timing, I'm telling you, his timing is impeccable. That when he would become flesh, that's the incarnation. From creation to the preparation to the incarnation. The incarnation where God becomes flesh. Jesus becomes in the flesh. Fullness of time, as we read in Galatians 4:4-7. God waited as long as he could. And then when the time was right, boom, angel of God appears to Mary, angel appears to Joseph. Jesus conceived by the Holy Spirit within the womb, gives birth. There was even a census taken where all the world was being taxed. And we go back in the historical records and find where Quirinius was governor of Syria, and the taxes were collected. Joseph would go to the city of David, Bethlehem, where Jesus would be born. As prophesied, right? As prophesied. So many hundreds of years before. And then Jesus would walk the earth for some 30 to 33 years as a child growing in wisdom, favor with God, favor with man. Then at age 30, he'd be baptized by John in Jordan for 3 years then. Timing was impeccable. And it would come about at the time of Passover that Jesus would not just happen to be at Passover, but he's in Jerusalem, not just at Passover, but he's there. And it's during that Passover that he would be offered as the Passover lamb, the sacrifice for us. God's impeccable timing on the cross, died for us. And he dies on Friday. When was he raised? In 3 24-hour periods, right? God's impeccable timing. 3 days later. And even Jesus during his ministry said, destroy this temple in 3 days, I'll raise it up. It took years to build this temple. How are you going to build it? No, but he wasn't speaking about the temple there. He was talking about the temple of his own body. And he even said on another occasion that Jonah was in the belly of the whale. Remember how many 3 days? I'll give it out. Remember how many days Jonah was in the... That's what happens when you try to talk fast and your brain will allow you. So I gave you the answer. As Jonah was in the belly of the whale for 3 days, so also the Son of Man will be in the belly of the earth for 3 days. Right? And on the third day. And then he's with his disciples for 40 days, he ascends, and then there will eventually be a day on the culmination where he sends back Jesus. It's a day and an hour that no one knows. Creation, preparation, incarnation, the culmination, that'll be the final day. And right today is the invitation. And for every one of us. Does anybody know what day the day of invitation is? Every day. Let me ask you another question. Anybody know what day the day of salvation is? Every day. 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Today is the day of salvation. Someone will be a smart aleck and say, well, that's today, not tomorrow. But when it's tomorrow, it'll be today. When it's tomorrow. 24 hours from now, on Monday, right? It's tomorrow. I can stand tomorrow, 24 hours, and I'll say, today, today, salvation. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 teaches that the invitation is open. It's impeccable timing. Creation, preparation, incarnation, invitation, culmination, day and hour that no one knows. He's coming. Not even Jesus knows what day he's coming. But I guarantee you this, God's going to wait as long as he can. Just like he waited as long as he can to send Jesus the first time, he's going to wait as long as he can. He's patient, not willing for any to perish, wants all to come to repentance. But when the time is right, when the fullness of time has been reached, boom, trumpet's going to sound, then Christ be raised, earth will melt with intense heat, we'll meet the Lord in the air. If we're ready, if we're not, we'll depart in everlasting fire. It'll be a perfect day. I guarantee it. It's God's perfect timing, right? We're worried about something. It's not, what somebody pushes the nuclear button and blows up the whole world. They've been trying to scare me since I was a kid. About some guy pushing a button and blowing. God's not going to let that happen. God's going to end it when he's ready for it to be ended. And until then, we keep working until he comes. We keep fellowship. We keep praising him. We keep the joy of the Lord central in our heart. But I wonder sometimes, from the preparation, from the creation to the preparation to the incarnation to the invitation to the culmination, anyway, I wonder if there is a realization. I'm just playing on words this morning. I purposely put this together. Not to look brilliant, but here's the key. Do we realize God's perfect time? Is there a realization of it? Are we in step with it? It's kind of like being in a band. Are we in step with the beat? I remember watching one high school football marching band. There was a marching band on the field, and they're all marching down the field, and at one point they were supposed to all go like this, and about face go the other way. And one guy forgot. He just kept going. he was in step with the beat, but he was all by his lonesome. You know, that was a big mistake. I think they lost that competition. But I wonder sometimes if we're in step with the beat. In other words, in step with the Spirit. And I know there's times we don't think the timing works well. I know I look at your truck, brother, and if anybody had been riding with you, I don't think they would survive. They don't. And then there's other times there are accidents and people don't survive. And they had last night Fox News, I'm from the side school. I don't know where this was. They had this security camera, and some lady's walking across the railroad tracks, and she just kind of meandered along. She looks this way and looks that, and the train just barely missed her. There was a train coming from her left. And I was taught you do what? You look, but you didn't go far enough. You look both ways before crossing. Because if people say, well, it's my time to die, there's nothing I can do about it. She almost died because she didn't look, she looked right, but she didn't look the other way before crossing. And then there's times that bus crashed. A couple weeks ago, church bus somewhere, I forget where it was, 13 of the 14 on board were killed because some pickup truck came across the line, hit them head on. People in the pickup truck are okay, 13 of the 14 people from the church killed. It's like, how does that work in? Well, we're in a fallen world. Like you said during Sunday school, we live in a world of sin. Not everything's perfect. But I'm telling you, at 2:27 a.m. on April 4th, Bessie posted to my Facebook page, Dean Blythe, we need to check in on him. I didn't get that message at 2:27 a.m. I was sound asleep. And the reason she put Dean Blythe was because you got to do that on Facebook so you actually get the message. It's not that she doesn't know what my last name is. You type in Dean Blythe, and that way it'll go right to my Facebook page. And the first thing I saw when I checked my Facebook was, we need to check on him. Because I believe his name is John White. He's from Winnetou, buddy of yours. Forget his name now. I got to ask him sometime. I'm thinking he may have been the one that bought my 1976 Buick Starlight back in 1994. He just looks like the guy. Way off the subject, I know. We're talking about kind of guy. So anyway, I get up Tuesday morning because Monday night we're up at Joyce Capers and we're unloading a pickup truck. And we hear, first thing I say is somebody's having problems. And I don't know who. And I'm standing on the pickup truck and I'm seeing the ambulance go by, the fire truck go by. You got to be standing on the pickup truck to see. I said, that's Route 22. And we didn't know who it was. We didn't know who it was at the time. God did. Patrick knew. The gentleman knew, right? So at 8:24 a.m., I made a phone call to Allegheny General Hospital. We're trying to find out where he is. They said, no, we don't have him, Patrick was scared. 8:26 a.m., a place called a Presbyterian Hospital. I found him. So at 9:07 a.m., I put out a calling post. And at 9:10 a.m., the calling post came. Everybody received the calling post at 9:10 a.m. Tuesday morning. And then at 9:13 a.m., Patrick called the house. Isn't it cool what you can do with technology? I was checking my phone and all my phones and leaving the exact time. So I headed to Pittsburgh. And first day ever, I was like, there's no traffic jams in Pittsburgh. That's the perfect time to go. Thank you. I just said everything to that. And he did. The traffic was perfect. Now, parking, that was another thing. Trying to find a parking spot. I didn't know there were so many levels there. I went up higher than I ever drove before. I was all the way up on level J. But I found a parking spot. Parked. Took a picture of where I was so I don't forget where the car is. And then got out of the car. And I think I took the steps. Took the steps down. And that hospital, it's really a piece of work, man. And I used the restroom. So that took a couple minutes. And then I went around to the elevator, and I'm on the first floor, and I went to the third floor to the walking bridge so I could go over to Presbyterian, now I'm on a floor, and went to information, double checked where he was, took the elevator, I think we were on the 6th floor, if I'm not mistaken, and go up and phoned the ICU unit, minister, see Patrick Scarrett if I could. They said, can you wait for about 5 minutes? Right. Y'all know what 5 minutes is? It's 25 minutes later, they came out. By the way, they didn't forget me. I was patient. I thought, I'll let 15, 20 minutes go by. 15, 20 minutes went by. Finally, they came out and said, are you here to see Patrick? And she brought me back. Visited with Patrick for a few moments. And I put 11:50 a.m. I was with you. Because he's saying, well, how's the church? He's asking how the church is doing. I'm there to see what he's doing. Let him know, hey, we're praying for you. And so, he said, how's the church doing? He said, oh, yeah, we're working up on the building, blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I know somebody that can do this, da, 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 da. And he gives me a name and a number. And so I texted myself. I remember I was standing there, I was writing it down. And I sent a text to myself, the gentleman's name and phone number at 11:50 a.m. And then I said, farewell. I was walking out the door, and one of the nurses says, I really like your shirt. I'm wearing that green Hawaiian shirt, looks just like yours, Margaret. Is that mine? And come on in, kids, have a seat. We're talking about Patrick. You know it's going to be about, it's not about you, buddy. It really isn't. So just relax. And so she said, that's a nice shirt. I said, my wife got it for me. I always do that when some cute blonde tells me I like that shirt. I want to know it's my wife that got it for me. And she says, well, I still like the shirt. And I kept going, saying, you can't have it. Okay, but then, so went from the 6th floor down to the 1st floor. You're thinking, wait a minute, you got to go to the 3rd floor to get out. No, I got to go to the 1st floor first. It's not like free parking for ministry. So I got to go to the 1st floor, and then I got to go out and go down the escalator to get to the desk. Nice lady this time. She doesn't give me a hassle, and she validates my parking ticket. Someone grab Willie, if you would. I love her, but we'll be here all day, because you know me, I want to go over and play with Lily right now. I'm kind of a attention deficit disorder, if you haven't caught that. All right? So I go down and get my parking ticket validated. I go up the escalator. This is really important. You're thinking this has nothing to do with anything. It does, I guarantee it. You're going to be impressed at the impeccable timing of God on this. I go back up the escalator, and I'm thinking, I need to use the restroom before I go out to Pittsburgh traffic, because y'all know in Pittsburgh you're going to have what? Traffic jam, right? So I'm thinking, it said there's a restroom there. I got to check home, but I don't know where it is. And I spend about 20 seconds and wait a minute, I know there's one right at the entrance where it came in. So I go back to the walking bridge, take the 3rd down to the 1st, and I use the restroom there. And then I took the elevator to the top. Actually, by the way, I forgot this one. When I first went to see it, Patrick, I hit the wrong button. I went to hit 6th floor and I hit 5 and went all the way to 11th. Please, somebody come get Lily. Okay, she can't be up here right now. Okay? Do what you gotta do with her. Anyway, so I rode all the way to the 11th floor. So again, it took some more time, and then I finally got to see you. Got back on the road. Before I did though, I called Willie Park Medical Center. I said, do you have a lane walker? Yes, we do. 511, bed B. So I sat there in the car, still with a free parking ticket in my pocket, by the way, and I checked myself so I could remember the room number. Then I got out on the streets. Traffic is good. Traffic is good all the way to Wheeling. And I was thinking, do I go down to, go all the way back to Steubenville and down, or do I take 79 South? So I took 79 South instead. Worked pretty good. I'm getting hungry. I want to stop eating. I got a McDonald's, whatever you call it, card in my pocket. Somebody gave me. But Bessie had, I don't know what you call it, Bessie, but there was some sort of snack you had there, and I ate half that bag there. And I saved about $8 or $9. I didn't stop. I just kept going, right? By the way, she bought another snack. It's not the same kind. I wonder why. So, I pulled in, I'm coming into Wheeling, and it's a different way, and this light here and there, and now I'm looking for parking again, and that parking lot is full. It is packed. And I'm like, what's right? I remember there's a place for clergy to park that I just thought last time I was here. I'll go over there. There's never ministers here, right? Because they only work one day a week. Wouldn't you know, they chose that day to work their day that week. They were all full. And now, so I'm going to go over toward the emergency room. And now there's a lady out in the middle talking to the security guard. She's standing in my way. What do I do? Run her down? I sit there and wait, smile. I wasn't really upset. I really wasn't. I thought, this is working out to something. I don't know what it is. And finally, she's done talking. I make the left, and I get down, and I go up toward emergency, and there's a parking spot. There's a car coming toward me, and I can tell she wants it. It's not good. I looked in. You know where Tower 4 is? It says Tower 4. There's a spot right at the end. I couldn't have gotten any closer to Tower 4 than I wanted to if I was going to Tower 4, but it was open. I took it. I looked up, and there's Carl Ryan, just about ready to get into his car. Now, if you don't know Carl Ryan, he's a brother of ours from the Martin Presbyterian Church who's had radiation for cancer. Now, I'm telling you, I put it in park and looked up, and there he was. Man, I did lick his split, jumped out of the car, run to him. Had a few minutes to talk with Carl. If I hadn't taken that one turn to go to a restroom that I wasn't planning on originally, I had 20 seconds. Or anywhere along the whole trip, right? God's timing is impeccable. It is impeccable. And when I say goodbye to Carl, I walked away saying, anyone who lives like there's no God is a fool. I run into people at Walmart yesterday, day before. It must have been the day before. Going up an aisle I wasn't expecting to go up, and there's Kim Reisel, or Kim Brothers, Kim Brothers, and Beulah Carlin. And before that, I was coming out of the restroom there at Walmart, ran into a good friend, Steve Beck. I can't remember the last name for life. He said, "You come out of the restroom a lot." Whatever. That's not my point. My point is, Patrick, I didn't know you really wanted the accident. God knew. He had you covered. If you've been killed, you've been with the Lord. We're confident of that. But like you said this morning, come for a second chance. More chance to give your testimony to others. Amen. Which one of us hasn't had that? Just being here today, right? Let me key this up. Let's wind it down here. Let me close with this thought. I said, from creation to his preparation, to his incarnation, to the invitation, to one day the culmination. The day is coming that we don't know what day it's going to be. That Jesus Christ is going to split open wide the sky. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7 says, every eye will see him. Now, I told you that long story. It took a while. I understand that. I appreciate you going on that journey with me. It was 177 miles that day. It wasn't a really big day mile-wise for me. It was a few hours on the road. But I'm telling you, what are the chances of all the twists and the turns, not even knowing that Patrick was in the hospital until that morning, to be going to Presbyterian Hospital in Pittsburgh, and all those turns and lefts and rights and whatever, and the final parking spot to be put into parking. Right at that moment, right at that exact moment, right at that moment, there's my brother Carl Ryan that I love in the Lord, and he's not doing well, by the way. The only thing I didn't do that I regret is take a moment and pray. I didn't chat wrong with him because he wasn't feeling well. He said, I feel terrible. I don't feel good. And he's lost a lot of weight. I don't know if I'll see him again. I need to make a special trip just to come see Impeccable this week. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is God's put on your heart today to do, trust that if you're following, if you're walking in the Spirit as you know you're supposed to walk in the Spirit, trust that it is God putting on your heart to do it. Trust His perfect timing and do it. Do it now without delay. For your sake and for someone that needs to hear a good word from the Lord to you. That you can be a blessing to others. I know that was a blessing to me just to see Carl that day. God's perfect timing. I'm not just going to see Carl. You're not going to see something. You're going to see who? Jesus Christ. Every eye will see Him. Are you ready for that? In the timing, here's an opportunity right now for you to come. It's an invitation. If you want to come, without even come. That's your invitation. Whenever that time is, don't delay. Let's stand. I thank you again for the privilege and honor of sharing this message with you today. Father, as we prepare to sing this song, we sung it earlier in the service today. It's only you, God. Jesus, we remember Him saying, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through me. And I understand people might know me, and when I'm gone, they'll miss me, but they won't lose eternity by missing me. But Lord, I know that if they understand who Jesus is, they miss Him, they're going to miss eternity in heaven with Him. So I pray, Father, we see the value of that response, time to let you take the good news out as we do. Thank you for this group of loved ones in Jesus' name. Amen.
Jesus, your love lives inside me. Once I was blind, now I can see. You give me strength to believe. You love me like you do. Only you could love me this way. Only you deserve all the praise. Only you could love me this way. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. Out of the world, you bring me home every day. You know my heart, you hear me pray. Who will love me like you do? Only you. You love me this way. Only you. Deserve all the praise. Only you. You love me this way. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. Only you. You love me this way. Only you. Deserve all the praise. Only you. You love me this way. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you. There is only one like you. Only you.
See what works. I'm here. Yeah, there's a point to that. I was practicing that earlier this week. You think I'm obsessed with compulsive disorder. That's not anything but that. You got to be perfectly positioned to bounce the signal off this thing off that stage, to shut off that DVD player that's underneath the community table. Say, so what? The point is this: in Christ, you are perfectly positioned right where God wants you to be to accomplish what He wants you to accomplish. You can do it through Him. Trust that. Trust that. Amen. All right. Love you all. Thank you, Lord, for this body of believers here today. The joy, the love, Lord, and respect that each has for one another. As we take that out in this world, this little town here and the surrounding areas, Pittsburgh, wherever we are, Lord, may Jesus see in us the children of whom He is so happy to have, and may others see in us the Lord and Savior they so desperately need. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hey, Rick,
All right, Sally has one week. Take care.
About 65. Skip me off. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you saw it. You saw it on TV. They didn't have any names. We're going to call it I'm here.
Have a nice day.
Sometimes it doesn't want to. But it's we still beat you to come and save you. I'll bring it to you. Weirder is Dr. Man, Lord has good stories. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people. I learned some things about it.
Anybody wants to bring up that?
I'll bet you're right. Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't even know what that task is like. There's something in church anyhow. This is Wendy. This is Mr. Fleming. This is Al. That's right. How do you do? Thank you very much. Hey, appreciate it. This is Wendy. You're behind that. Somebody else. You were like, Yeah, we got a hand for these little trucks. That's how you Thanks, man. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I did, but oh yeah, you see the truck. Look at it. Yeah, that's all right. It's okay. Yeah, see, I hear stuff like is this recently? August the 20th. You walked away. One skate. Okay. Yep. That's right. It's so cool. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't even I don't know where he's from. Somebody said he's from Harrison County. Everybody thought not that one. Somebody said he's from like the Kilgore. I mean, I'd be lying. I don't know. I was doing it for state. That's the way things go. Oh, hey. I'm I'm glad to be here. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Awesome. Yep. Where is he now? Okay. Oh, it's amazing how many people learn about HOPEDALE. I knew that it was social media or whatever. And I didn't know it was on television. Hey, I knew when I hit. I mean, I'm in the jobs. When I hit the ground, Yep. People stop and give me a hand. I stopped and fine. I told what? Oh, yeah. It was tough because the guy started it and he found my phone and he picked it up and called my mother's cell phone.
Hey!
I wish she would have
Billy, you want to put money in the jar?
Put
money in the jar?
Then, because I collapsed on. It was tough, but
So I gave her telephone. He punched it in and I said, I don't even know if she could understand me. I said, I've been in an accident.
And then blow it back.
Right in the house, and down over the hill, I think is when I said.
And it was.
She came down and said, I just need some help.
And we had like.
I live on Full.
And they were.
Oscar Cole's old house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were kind of, somebody said. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, that's where some people. I'm just saying
You're singing a song today. We went to
Oh, yeah.
And
It's not the worst time.
Or the emotions. I should have
Avoided some stuff there.
it's almost like everything flies around. It's
The little guys.
Hey,
That's why it was yellow.
It all went down. I mean, if I'd have gone into the eastbound lane, all I could see is where that sandbox truck. Small and rapid. I mean, I'm all, we're snowed out. Truck get rolled over, there was so much rain, was stuck at the end of my truck. My others, friend Larry, who works with me, I had to. I'm notorious for picking up rocks. If I see a big rock, put it in the bed. He said, "Did you find a big rock?"
Never had that green net wrap on the ground.
Oh, it was funny. I mean, we could have tried.
There's a small spot bar. Here's me like an arrow, but he hit me with enough energy to take the bump off the back of my truck. Put it well past water. The bed, the left, that's the east side of the bed. He hit me with my arm, Casey, out. I don't know where he ended up with it. Bedside was pulled me
Right there.
down to the floor of the bed. So.
Lily.
When the truck was
What? Sammy.
Okay, kind of like somebody told me that karate chop in the middle of the cannon.
That's a wrap. April 9th, 2017.